It's bonding time with a dark side. Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into Team Forbidden's YouTube page. It is I, Seto Summon the Fanatic, back at you with, I believe, the update. I don't remember if this is an update or the first time that we had it on the channel for the Bond of Bravery deck profile. So this deck, literally, Eric and I went to the 3J's local. He played Machine Dramon, I played this deck. I got first place because I went undefeated the whole day. I beat him in the first round and he somehow got second place. So, good stuff. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the deck. If you can't tell from my shirt and from my mat, Agumon's my boy. It also doesn't help that my younger sister is into the Godamon line, and that Ty and Kari are both siblings. So, anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what I ran that won the tournament today. So first off, we have 4 copies of Demi-Meramon. This is your egg of choice. Literally, you attack directly, you get an extra 1000 DP. Arguably, best red egg right now. As for why it's this egg and not the Koromon egg, because I know a lot of you who are checking in might know that the Koromon egg is usually the main egg that people run in this deck. Check a certain video that's going up on my channel. We'll post a link for it down in the description below. But literally, you get 1000 DP extra whenever you attack. Great. And for our 5th egg, we're running 1 copy of Sakudomon. There's 2 reasons I'm running this card. Reason number 1 is this card is literally my name spelled in Japanese with Mon on the end if the vowels were switched. Number 2 is Bond of Bravery is a level 7. So when you attack with him, you'll gain a memory back, and you're going to be blowing up a Mon on attacking, so they're probably not going to have the memory blocker, so you get the memory back, and then if you have 1 memory and you have a analog youth on the field, you can literally just go into a Gunimon for game after that. It's kind of niche, but it does come up. Plus, you also have the tie that gives you memory every time you move an egg up. So there's that as well. Anyways, full 5 Digi eggs. Into the rookies, we have 4 copies of the Starter Deck 7 Agumon. Now, unlike the Greymon profile that you will see on my channel, we don't care about piercing our opponents with this, so we're going to be attacking directly as much as possible. I'll get into one of the 2 cards which are basically your primary attackers for this deck. This basically works on any of them, so essentially if this is on top of the Demi-Meramon, you'll get an extra 3000 points when attacking. And yes, that is absolutely nuts. Sometimes, with the way that the game is right now, all you need is 8,000 to be able to plow through a couple of securities, or sometimes even 10 or 11 can just win you the game. The next Agumon that we have is 4 copies of the EX1 Agumon. This guy is so good, and he looks so nice. An inheritable is whenever you attack, if he's under there as a source, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add an Agumon or any Tamer card among them to your hand. And Agumon in name, by the way. So yes, the Searcher's Bond of Bravery. This basically just helps you cycle through your deck to get your combo pieces for the stuff you need to win. Those are the only ones that I run 4 of. The next are all 2-ups. I see a bunch of people running 4 copies of this Agumon. I honestly don't think that's correct. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's good, but his inheritable is only for Bond of Bravery. So it's just like, okay, an extra security, maybe in the full line deck, but he's also nice whenever you have him and then you play tie down, you get a memory back. And yes, that even works when it gets played from security as well. But yeah, he's nice. I honestly don't think you need 4 of him, because the version of this deck prioritizes going into the Greymon or the Skull Greymons first. So that's why all the other Agumons are prioritized over here. The next 2 that we have is Promo 1 Agumon. This is literally just here to play off of Skull Greymon, and he's also got the niche of he's a 5-cost rookie, so Ultimate Flare doesn't kill him. It's super niche, but it's there. Just like this guy, Agumon Black or Agumon Virus. He's a 2-cost to play normally. You usually don't want to Digivolve into this, but if you have to, you have to. So yeah, it's that, and then something else that I'm running that I noticed a lot of other people aren't. They're either prioritizing the other Agumons over them, but I'm opting to run 2 Agumon Experts because you can search it with this guy, and if Bond of Bravery winds up in your trash, you can just play him because it's got Agumon in name. He'll get Bond of Bravery back from your trash. So that's it for the rookies. A whole lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16. Full 16. Reason for that being is this is a rush deck. It's basically a combination of security control and rookie rush with an Agumon Greymon flavor to it. Speaking of Greymons, this is your first primary attacker. So yeah, if he's got Agumon as an evolution source, he'll do 2 security checks. And again, you basically combo this with the Demi-Meramon and with the starter deck 7 Agumon, and you're checking on either like 6,000 or 8,000 and cycling through your deck. You don't expect this card, the way that you play this deck is you don't expect it to get the 2 checks, but if it does, and even if it dies on the 2nd check, it's done its job. Next, on top of that, we have 4 copies of Geo Greymon. Guys, this card is nuts. If it's in security and it's flipped up, you literally just play it, and then when it's played, you kill a 4K or less. This card literally saved my butt today in a couple of games, popping up out of security and just doing stuff. And because we've got the Skull Greymon, I'm also running 2 copies of Greymon from BT3. I mean, it's good. Well, okay, it's nowhere near as good as Geo Grey, but I wanted extra stuff to pop down from security, and you just win by having extra bodies on board. Plus, you've got Skull Greymon, which we'll get into in a few moments. And so, yeah, he's a champion that you can just pop Skull Greymon down and go nuts. And then finally, we have 3 copies of Agunimon. I mean, you literally just have your Tamers in the back row, and once you clear through your opponent's security, you just slap an Agunimon down and you go for game. So let's get into our ultimates, and what we run is 3 copies of EX1 Skull Greymon. Oh my god. This card is nuts. This card is absolutely bonkers crazy, and I love it. So, first thing is it's got security attack +1 already, and it can Digivolve from purple or red. So, it's got 2 checks on 8,000, and even if it dies in the security checks, it doesn't matter. Because on deletion, because it dies after the attack finishes anyway, and then on deletion, you just play any Agumon you want from your trash. That's one of the many reasons we're playing the 5-cost promo one, is we just play that for free, and then, boom, we can just pop something else, pop a memory blocker, pop something else, and it works with the analog as well, because it's a level 5. I kind of want to run a 4th, but I'm not sure if I should. 3 seems enough. I see it often enough, and generally comes up when I need it. Next up, we have 3 copies of the Bonding Boy himself. Not 4. I think 4 is technically incorrect. I'm probably wrong on that. I see a lot of people running a 4-2 split on these. I felt 3-3 was necessary. I feel 3-3 is the right call. Because I usually like going for Bond of Bravery to end a game. I usually don't like early bonding unless I absolutely have to do it. But Bond of Bravery, what can I say? He's awesome. He destroys a 13 or less whenever you attack with him, and then when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, unfortunately it's only during your turn and it's only once per turn, you trash your opponent's top security. he's so good. You basically delete blockers and then go right in for the kill. So yeah, just the 3 level 7s. You could run a 4th if you want. I don't think it's necessary because one of the reasons I have the Agumon experts, because he's got Agumon in name. He's an Agumon. So I can, if he's ever checked in security or I early bond and he dies, I just get him back from the trash whenever I want with Agumon expert. It's good. All right, next into the Tamers, and we've got a lot of them. We've got 8 of them to be precise. The main one, my boy, Taikamiya. This guy literally makes the deck. The deck could not function without this card. The first effect is whenever you move an Agumon or a Greymon up from your breeding area to your battle area, you draw a card and gain a memory. And then if you have 3 memory, because it costs 3 memory to Digivolve, you can just warp any regular Agumon you want into a Bond of Bravery, but you have to trash your top security. So you have to be really careful, because if you bond at the wrong time, it will definitely lose you the game. And I almost lost a game because I almost bonded it. I bonded at the wrong time today when I shouldn't have. Thankfully, my security was godly after that point, so I didn't lose. So, to Marcus, this is your main memory tamer. Unlike the Greymon tribal deck, which you want Ty for the extra text, Marcus is way more important here. Basically, you swing with Greymon or Geo Greymon or Skull Greymon, and you gain a memory whenever you attack. Plus, you set your memory to 3 at the start of your turn because it stops your opponent from choking you. And for our last tamer that we have in the deck, guys, especially if you're running the Skull Greymon engine, this card is really good. It hurts occasionally when you send your option cards to the graveyard, but oh, if you send Agumons to trash, that's fine. We can Agumon expert them back. Oh, or Skull Greymon them if it's the level 3s. Also, Skull Greymon or Agumon just dies. Oh, I'll just suspend it, hatch another Digi-Egg, which makes this live on the very next turn. It's nuts. It's so good. There's a reason this card is as widely played and as expensive as it is. So, not much else I can say about Analog Youth. Such a great card, and it's also got the Greymons in the artwork too, so that helps also. And finally, into the option cards, we are running only 7. So, I've got 3 of 2 of the main ones, your 2 mains, which are 3 Atomic Blaster. I mean, self-explanatory, it's Atomic Blaster. This option card is arguably one of the best red option cards in the entire game. Because for 5 cost, just delete any combination of Digimon for 8k or less. What's that? Your opponent has flooded the board full of a bunch of rookies. These that are all 2k. Oh, there are 4 of them, they're all 2k. Okay, kill all of them. Dumb. Oh, they have one big ultimate that's 8,000. Oh, kill that. That was actually how I won my game against Diaboromon, was he kept getting the Inframon, but he didn't have the memory to go into Diaboromon because he wasn't getting his Tamers, and I just kept killing the Inframon off with this. And either pops up in security or pops up in your hand, and you're good to go. And of course, 3 copies of Gaia Force. Guys, it's Gaia Force. It's literally delete anything that doesn't have protection like Craniumon. And this last option card is kind of a flex spot. But my girlfriend literally suggested I play this card because she said, this is so me, and she's kind of right. I mean, Heir of Dragons, so good. It's, you draw 2 for 3 memory. If you have a Greymon or a Drummon on the field, you pop a 4k or less. It's, in theory, really, really good. In practice, it actually was okay. Other options, because again, this is a flex spot. You could go a 4th copy of Gaia Force. I did have 4 copies of Atomic Blaster, but I wanted something else. You could go Red Memory Boost, but the problem with Red Memory Boost is if you hit the Skull Greymon, it goes to your bottom of your deck because it's a purple card. So Heir of Dragons seemed like the best option. The other option that you could run is a Delicate Plan. Again, the way that I play this deck, I don't think a Delicate Plan is necessary, because a Delicate Plan, you're not going in for rushing with your Greymons, hoping to survive and bypass all the option cards. The way that you play this deck is if you go into security and you die, that's okay. So I might as well go into a quick sort of minor combo tutorial with here. So let's say you have, let's just use Greymon for example. And let's say you have an Agumon in your trash and an Agumon in your hand, as well as the Skull Greymon. So if you have the 3 memory, you Digivolve into the Skull Greymon, and you swing. If you get the 2 checks, great. If not, no biggie. You'll just delete the Skull Greymon, trigger the analog, bring the Agumon back suspended, and then you hatch one of your eggs. And then one of your eggs, you just Digivolve the Agu on top of that, and congratulations, you now have tie triggered again. The other way that you can do it and potentially go for game, you'll need this, and any Agumon. We'll go ahead and use this one. An Agunimon in hand, and a Bond of Bravery. So what happens is you tie into the Bond of Bravery, and you need at least 1 security card. So, or 3 rather. So you have the Agumon moved up. You go into the Agumon Bond of Bravery, trash your G security, and then you have the 1 security left. So you swing with the Agumon Bond of Bravery, and let's say you got rid of all your opponent's security, and you have only 1 memory. You Digivolve tie into a Agunimon to 2. If you have 1 or more security, that triggers the Bond of Bravery to end your turn. So you destroy the Bond of Bravery, and since Bond of Bravery was destroyed and it was a level 5 or higher, you tap the Analog Youth and hatch another egg, and you go from there. Further combo you can do is, let's say you bond and you go to 0. If you have Sakudomon as your inheritable, when you swing with Bond of Bravery, since he's a level 7, you'll gain a memory that way as well. So guys, that's the Bond of Bravery deck that got first place at the 3J's local tournament today on February the 5th. We also have a deck profile that went on my channel for the full line Greymon Tribal deck. If you guys want to check that out, we'll have that in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you guys want to see for other videos, and we will catch you guys later.